Oh, November 12th, 2023. So that's why it's the rise of Crystal Clear Eyes and Crystal Storms has been born. That's right, from my father Keith Storms, who was half American Indian. His mom was American Indian, my grandma on my dad's side, and his dad was black, very dark-skinned black man, very much in control of the family. My grandpa on my dad's side. So because of that, my black people, I'm stepping out the shadows and letting y'all know now. It's time for receipts in these streets. That's my motherfucking that's how I do my investigative journalism. Cause my history here in New York and this country goes far and deep, yo. And I'm not gonna sit by and because see, I'm one of the few from that last generation in the 80s. By the time it got to the 90s, they had dumbed down the educational system so bad they went and started to, watering down the SAT to make it easier. And then after, they had all of these things like ebonics, an excuse for why black people weren't, a lot of black people weren't up to speed educationally because of slavery, the system of slavery where our people were held back for hundreds of years and denied education upon pain of death. And you want to act like, 50, 60 years of, okay, y'all can learn. It's all right. Y'all can get the same education we got. When back in the 60s, you look back in the 60s there, if you look on your fucking phones, that's why I hold everybody responsible. Because I said, yo, grown-ups, do what you do, but leave the kids out of it, and especially leave my kid out of it. And all the kids out of it. And y'all ain't leave my kid out of it, my kids out of it, or the kids out of it at all. I know I was one of them kids in danger in my growing up in my generation back in I was born in the late 60s, yo, when motherfucking the Vietnam War was going on, kid. So I know all about this country, and what I didn't know, or world history, I looked up on the internet. Thanks to the internet, I love the internet now because I was able to use it to wrap all y'all up with your own bullshit. Everybody says, didn't know this, didn't know this, didn't know that, didn't know that. But y'all got them cell phones with the internet that I looked shit up on that I didn't know, just like y'all could have. But the problem is y'all got that dumbed down education, where they allow you to make up your own biology and all of this and show me in the animal kingdom where it's going down. 50, 60, 77 different genders in the animal kingdom, like Baskin Robbins. So, no. Y'all ain't gonna feed these semantics and these lies and this revised history, make it up as you go along to my black people for another generation. Hell no. That's why I'm advising my black people. No, I want y'all to know we don't have to fight for this. What we do is we fight for our own land. We come together for our own land peacefully. No fighting. When I say fight, I mean in the courts, the way the white folks do. And we'll do our peaceful protesting and won't be tearing nothing up because our people built this. See, that's how you can tell the difference between those who really built something and those who didn't. You know why? Because, see, if they really built it, why would they be tearing it up? Like, for example, the white people would come and tear up our communities, many communities, not just no Black Wall Street, not just Seneca Village where Central Park is now. Many communities, even flooded communities, took intergenerational wealth. But here's the thing, then they want to talk about that revisionist history. Oh, we built this country on our own, the white folks. Did you? Did you? So then explain how we're here. Explain how we don't know our tribes in Africa, and I don't know my tribe here with the American Indians. And explain how, if y'all built it by yourself, then why are y'all saying y'all need workers? The, new American workers, and skipping over the, quote, old Americans, that would be us and our children. And how is it that we had so much value? Our people had so much value. We were held as slaves, and see, you lost already because it's already in the record books. They were a huge part of the economy, the slave reading programs and all of that, But then once we were free and once we demanded equal rights and all that in the 60s, then we were terrible people and super predators. Show it to me in the timeline. Show it to me and my people in the timeline because we're going for reparations. The gaslighting has been going on. This has been structurized, my people, and it still is, as that plantation slave master mentality. Slave master, house slave, overseer, better than white folks, and then the field slaves. The house slaves after that, then the field slaves, that would be us. And, that's the structure they keep trying to keep us in, generation after generation. That's why it's time for reparations. Because our people have been used and abused generation after generation. That's why it's time for reparations. Don't fight for it, my people. It's nothing to fight for. It's already being overrun with lawlessness. Do you really want your children to be in communities with people they're going to keep? They're not going to stop coming no matter what the white folks say. They don't respect the white folks' laws, and the white folks don't respect theirs or none. It was built in from the beginning that we were to be slaves, and they tried to keep us in that structure, that slave master mentality structure and behavior pattern. No matter what laws they changed, they made sure they balanced it out by subverting and sabotaging our community, saying they had no money for schools, no money for reparations. 30 years ago, when I was young, 30, 40 years ago, they were saying that, but now they're pouring the money into, they said they didn't have jobs for us. They didn't have housing. Our homeless been on the streets for decades, and all of a sudden they worry about, want to make sure they get every homeless migrant off the streets that they invited. We are being taxation without representation. We go to court. Don't fight for it. Do you want your kids living with lawless people? Venezuela is emptying their prisons, just like Cuba did 30 years ago. And Cuba sent their criminals over here, and they posted up in Miami with that do what you do business. And I'm talking about everything. This is all in all history. This is nothing. I'm not revealing anything new. Y'all just don't look at history anymore. Look up the Dirty 30 Precinct documentary. They're doing the same shit to me over here. A lawless migrant tried to threaten me with a machete, telling me to pull out my pepper spray. Look up that little girl in Chicago, almost had her eye put out by drunk Mexican migrant women celebrating a Mexican holiday, her neighbors. The same way the African lawless ones next door, Muslim lawless ones next door to me, who had no respect for September 11th, no respect for World War I, World War II, Omaha Beach, no respect for Vietnam War, or even no respect for the fact that I said my Muslim cousin and my auntie could have died in September 11th, World Trade Center. They both worked there, but thank God neither one was there. My auntie was taking my son, my oldest son, to a doctor's appointment, and my cousin, my favorite cousin Khalid, who's Muslim, God bless him, he was out in the field. He wasn't in the office that day. God bless him. But I'll say this, my black people, we don't need to fight for this. For what? For your child to be the next one to get her eye almost put out by a drunk migrant throwing a bottle, and our black men are not protecting us, the black gangbangers not protecting our kids? I'll do it. We go for reparations in our own land like my American Indian ancestors. I already researched everything. Peaceful protests. If you're showing up to act up, don't show up. Because we need our own land just like my American Indian ancestors, and we've earned it. Our people have, and they know it. And we'll take it to court forever. And all I need is my black people to support me and protect me, because they're going to want to X me out like Malcolm X. But I'm the new Martin Harriet X Luther King. My people, rally around me. I already researched it all. Don't fight for these communities. Firemen admitted that they regularly left black people to burn in the 60s and 70s. White firemen did that. We are the real humanitarian crisis, and we are the ones who we don't want a hate bill from them. We want our own land and a small amount of reparations to get started, like the American Indian, and we will welcome in American Indians. We'll welcome in Puerto Ricans. They don't backstab us. They can teach our kids Spanish. American Indians, they can teach our kids how to live off the land. That's my ancestors. Or white folks who helped, the same ones who helped fight for us in World War, the Civil War and civil rights, we welcome them. And Jews, as long as they realize they're not coming to teach our kids nothing about no religion, they'll work with the black Jews, the black Israelites, and teach our kids business. We welcome them all. And yeah, we sure will. And we'll welcome anybody else as long as they're business owners. Anybody else that's business owners and doing honest business. We welcome anybody from around the globe, as long as they know you here working for black interests in our community, but first let's get their land. Let's come together. Reparations. We have been abused generation after generation, used and abused generation after generation. That's why now's the time for reparations. Since when did our kids become super predators? Since Massa Biden and them? Huh? Since Massa Biden did the crime bill, or since they flooded our communities with drugs? Time to go. Let them do all that to each other, and we'll be like the American Indians. Peaceful, American, and staying the fuck out of all they wars. Let them go to the wars. Let the Latinos sell the drugs to their kids, to the Muslims, and to the whites. And everybody else. Let the Muslims do the terrorism on the Latinos and the drug dealers and on the whites. And let the whites do the racism and leave their kids behind, like that damn firefighter said. They left black kids and black people behind to burn regularly. And the last one he did was a child. He looked at the child he wanted to save and left her. And now he feel guilty because he about 90 years old, about to die and go meet his maker. I don't give a damn. Let's leave them to do it to each other and sell the drugs and all that and hold each other's community back. Look, they do substandard construction. They got all the construction jobs. All the construction being done now is going to be substandard.